I,
Oh,
I was grooving.
yeah, you always catch me. It's a catchy tune. So welcome to Live with CLIPA. I've got a very special guest today. Very excited to have her on. She's a big supporter of CLIPA. She's been in the industry for a long time. Mel, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Matt. It is my
Yeah,
pleasure to be here and always an honor. Thank you so much.
yeah, also known as Melody Edwards. So you've been a big supporter of CLIPA. You come to a lot of events of ours, and you send your staff to a lot of our events. And we appreciate that. Why? Why CLIPA?
Well, okay, let me just say that before I had a Christmas light company, I had a window cleaning pressure washing company,
Mhm.
and I had bought it from somebody who was super old school. And the
Yeah.
one thing I knew was that I never wanted to do that again. I never wanted to learn everything the hard way and only have that old school knowledge. So when I bought my holiday lights company from a friend who was also very old school, I'm really grateful I had his knowledge, but I knew that I needed professional, like up to date knowledge. And CLIPA was the place that everybody said I needed to be. And I
Yeah.
think I've done more trainings for CLIPA than anybody in the world because anytime I'm near a training, I'd be like, I'll go and
Well,
learn new things every time.
yeah. Well, but thank you. I appreciate that. And I think CLIPA is fortunate that you found us. You have been such a big fan of ours, and you've done so many great things over the years. We do appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. So let's talk about you. I want to talk more
Yeah.
about you and what do you have going on these days? You got a lot of moving parts and things like that. A lot of things going on.
Yeah.
What's the latest and greatest?
Well, okay, so I own homeserviceva.com, and just in case people don't know who I am, I started in the home services industry when I was 17 as a technician. I became a business owner
Mhm.
eventually, and I've had probably multiple service businesses since then. But I just sold my last one. The Holiday Lights Company was the last home service business.
Mhm.
Maybe not forever, but for right now.
Yeah.
All the bucket trucks, everything's gone. But so the reason I started Home Service VA, which is for virtual assistants, is because when I found my first virtual assistant full time, it really changed everything for me. It shifted my life, it shifted my business, and it really helped a lot with my ADD, which most entrepreneurs
Yeah.
tend to have.
Yeah.
So Dean became my business partner. She was my first VA. She became my business partner. And together we created the company that we wish had existed when we first started working together.
Sure.
Um, and that's what we do. We help business owners, if they're just starting, whether they're small or multi-million dollar companies, we help them find really great VAs who are going to match their needs. We also train those VAs now, and we support people on the back end.
Yeah. And this is a testament to never give up on anybody. Just keep grinding until they tell you no. They flat out tell you no. How long did it take you? Because I've got a VA and I got a VA through your
Yes.
program, which was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was a great process. You learned, what am I looking for and things like that. We're very fortunate. We found Lois, which is amazing. Everything you see here. I mean, she's created, she's done. So it's a beautiful, it's been amazing.
Yeah.
What do you say to that person? You're just trying to wheel them in. What
Well,
captured Matt? I mean, what the Matt Hydens of the world that are like,
yeah.
I can't. No, 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 no.
I don't need that, right? Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to say that you're like the grumpy old men at my town recycling center, but I love
Not
the,
yet. Not yet.
not yet, but I love like eventually convincing people that they who are very like not wanting the thing to do the thing. And it's not because I'm a salesperson. You know that I'm not very salesy. I'm an educator. But
Yeah.
when I see a need in somebody's life, and when I know that I have the ability to not only transform your business world, and really it's more of your team's business world, I would say too. I had a lot of talks behind the scenes with them as well before we got you, Lois, but it makes me so happy. So it's very selfish. I like to make myself happy by making other people happy
Yeah.
and helping them. I've got that heart to serve. And we're also transforming Filipinos' lives as well.
Yeah.
When they can get good jobs with living wages, with benefits, it can make a world of difference in a country where living wages are not the norm.
I like to say that you are changing the world.
I hope so, a little bit at a time, or with everybody that we serve. I hope that we change everybody's worlds.
You are. You're doing phenomenal job. So stick with it, please.
Thank you.
So the process for me, the hesitation was, I do so many things as an entrepreneur that I do that I can't teach, I can't train. I was completely wrong. I was way off base on that. So Lois does everything. She works with Courtney. She works with Chelsea. She works with all the team here, which is great.
Yeah.
She's probably just overwhelmed. I think we need to probably get a second one, but she's doing a great job. I mean, for me, it was the hesitation of I just can't teach her, and like I said, I was wrong about that. So I think,
Yeah.
what do you see like the biggest hesitation for people deciding to pull the trigger to get a VA?
Well, we're busy, and the last thing I want to do, who loves managing and who loves training? Most
Yeah,
people do not. I love inspiring and I love educating,
yeah,
but I don't like managing and training. And so I basically designed the company and the training systems around everything, all of my weaknesses,
yeah,
because I call myself the worst client, essentially, the one who's most resistant to doing things, the one who, but I'm like a lot of people. And so all my systems were built to make it as easy as possible for you so
yeah,
that you're not having to spend hours and hours on Zooms teaching somebody something.
yeah,
I created at the time, a very unique system for how I also, it's not just about the training, about building trust very quickly. Because my goal is the quicker that we can compress the amount of time it takes to develop that trust, the quicker you guys are going to be able to start working efficiently together.
yeah. Yeah, and you really did that in your onboarding process. You asked those questions, and for me, I was like, "Oh man, I don't know if I have time to do this onboarding process," but I did. I got through it. Thank God. I could have had Lois to go through that process for me, but
Yeah, it wasn't a
he
lot of
wasn't there
time.
yet.
I keep it really, some people take it super serious, and if you don't have ADD, if you're an entrepreneur who's like not that way, it's a super easy process for those people. And if you do have ADD, it's a super easy process for those people as well. Because,
I don't think I do. I don't know. I
well,
just
you can be either one, but I'm just saying, like, it's especially easy for people who just want to get stuff done.
Oh,
And
sorry. I saw something over there that looked pretty cool.
yeah, I imagine you did.
Was that
Um,
the
I'm,
was that the ADD kicking
no, no, you don't have it.
in?
Yeah. So I think it's just like having so many years in experience as a business owner,
Yeah.
struggling in the same area. I wasn't always great at systems. It took me 10 years to figure out how to do systems in a way that would work for me. All of those years, I was like, you have to write them down. They have to be in order. But
Mhm.
who reads? Nobody reads, and nobody's reading systems. Like, so that's when I learned from, my mentors, like, why are you like writing them? Just
Yeah.
video stuff. And then I videoed everything, super short, quick, super easy. And it made such a difference. And then the second part of that process that helps a lot is having your VA watch that video and then create a process sheet of what they saw in those videos so that you can know that they understand where you're coming from. That's a huge component, again, of building the trust very quickly. Because I don't know about you, Matt, but I think trust is an issue for a lot of business owners,
Sure.
especially when they're trying something new or if people have never like I lived abroad when I was younger, so I have more of a world view, but if you've never, traveled a lot, it can seem like, well, how can somebody from the Philippines be good at American things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it's because they learn American English in school. They
Mhm.
don't, it's not America over there, but it's a very friendly country, and they love learning. They're very well educated, highly educated, and the cost of living is much, much lower there compared to here. So it's more cost effective to
Yeah.
hire, especially when you can't find people to hire here.
Mhm.
That's really why it's become so popular.
Well, a year ago, I couldn't speak on that topic. Now I can, and I 100% and on board. If I push, getting a VA to everybody. Oh,
Thank
you should get a VA. You should get a VA. You should get it. What? What do you mean? That type of.
Yeah.
But the process, you make it so simple, and you really do. From how do you pay them to how do you communicate with them? How do you track time? There's so many things you offer, so many tools you offer going through this process, and you answered all the questions I had through that whole process. It was just onboarding process. It was like, well,
Yeah.
how do I do this? How do I teach them to do things? Oh, you use, the video, you record videos, Loom, I think it's Loom, right? The one
Yeah.
you, yeah. Or how
Yep.
do you do this? How do you know? So you provide all the tools for you to be successful. And sometimes it doesn't work out with VAs. I'm imagining, right?
Oh,
What
100%.
happens? Let's talk about that. What happens in that
Yeah.
process if it
I
just
never
doesn't click?
Yeah, so I'm not one of those overconfident business owners who promises success, because we're dealing with humans and humans are imperfect, whether it comes from the VA side. And then the other side of it is, you know how sometimes you communicate with people and I use my husband as an example all the time, but like he's speaking English and I'm speaking English, but like our English kind of goes like this a lot of the time, even though I
Sure.
love him dearly. That can happen with a VA or a work relationship as well. And so
Sure.
it might not be somebody's fault that maybe they're a great VA. They might not be the right one for you.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
we have a 30-day rematch guarantee. We actually have two different ways of working with us now. We have the recruitment model, which is what you did. And that's for people who know how to manage people, who can coach, who can train. And then we have an agency model where we're the coaches, we're the trainers, we're doing all of that legwork and we're paying them. We take care of everything.
Mhm.
So there's many different options.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great process, and anybody that's, on the fence, definitely do it. I was on the fence for 3 years and finally
Yeah,
pulled the trigger. And you're not the pushy salesperson. You
I'm
have
horrible.
your sly way of, like, making people feel like, "Okay." I think every time you saw me, "Matt, it's time. Matt, it's time," and then you just walk
A
away.
little poke,
Yeah,
little
you were just kinda poking. It wasn't the hardcore sales like
yes,
anyone. So, you have
yeah,
your little methods, and obviously it worked.
yeah. Oh, Lois, you're the sweetest. She's so nice. Thank
She
you.
is. Look at her throwing all that. See, that's we just
Yeah,
sit here and talk, and she throws beautiful things up like that. It's amazing.
yeah. Well, I'm really excited to be giving this talk. Last year, I talked about employee training, which is
Yeah,
another passion of mine,
yeah.
and that was great. But I'm going back to my VA roots, and I'm
So,
really going to talk about not just how we can use a virtual assistant in our world, but also teaching some of the systems that we use, because not everybody needs to work with an agency. Some people can really do it on their own,
yeah.
but it's a lot of work. And so I want people to understand and have all the tools and the information. But the other thing I'm super excited about is I'm going to be talking. I have invented an equation of delegation, and it's very scientific and mathematical because that's
Mm.
who I am as a person. As you know, I'm practically a scientist.
Can you say that again? That sounds pretty cool. Say it again.
Equation of delegation. It's
Mm,
actually like very simple, but it's going to help people to quantify what their time is actually worth so
yeah,
that they can start to understand.
it is.
Yeah, that. Super mathy. And one more thing, Matt, that I'm super excited about. As you know, I am the co-founder and creative director of CLIPA Con calendar.
Yeah, I love that.
And last year it was Magic Matt, as you can see, because it was Vegas. And this year I'm doing California Dreaming as a
Oh,
theme.
oh, I love it.
But the only way that people can get this calendar, and it is much coveted, is if they come to my class, and then there's going to be a little bit of a scavenger hunt, but
No,
for fun, because business should be fun and
yeah,
not boring. So,
I love it. I love the calendar. The girls in here love the calendar. I think they keep it on my photo the whole time. I'm
of
like, come on,
course, yeah.
it's December. Get it off January.
Well, it'll be fun. We're working on it as we speak, and
Good. I can't
it,
wait.
I do it for the love of doing calendars. So yes.
Yes, it's amazing. So if you haven't seen her calendar, you definitely need to check it out. I'm sure you'll have it at CLIPA Con somewhere
Oh, I
floating
will,
around where people can see it.
for sure.
Wherever we can display it, you let us know. And you're gonna have your little standee out there. Is excited
Oh,
for that, and
yeah.
can't wait to put that up. So yeah, you jumped into what you're talking about. Anything else you can get people to be like, oh, you want to come see Mel? I mean, you saw the lineup, who you're up against, but I think this is an important aspect of the business, and people are hesitant. Matt Hydens of the world are hesitant.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm in that situation, and I wouldn't look back. And I'm talking to
Yeah.
CEOs of companies right now. I'm like, oh man, you need a VA, you need a VA, that type of stuff. Anything you can say to anybody that like, hey, you know what, just come hear us out.
Yeah, so they're gonna have, there's gonna be a lot of actionable things that are gonna take place it's a workshop. So they're not just walking away with just, inspirational words about virtual assistants. It's
Yeah,
really gonna be about facts and getting things done, but in my fun melody way. And I'm going to be giving them some things to take home with them as well. So
Ooh, gifts and scavenger hunts, and ooh, can't
I
wait.
go all in. If I'm going all the way to California, I want to have fun with it.
Yes, of course, of course, yes.
Uh,
Well, Mel, thank you very much. I do appreciate having you. You're speaking on May 3rd, Friday. You'll be in the Shell Room. That's the name of the room.
Love it.
And we'll point you in the right direction. And everybody else will have signage and all that fun stuff so they can find Mel. So if you want to come see Mel speak, Mel, thank you for joining us. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Matt.
Yeah. If you want to come see Mel speak, you can come out to CLIPA Con. It's on May 2nd and 3rd, coming up really quick here. So you better get your plane tickets. You better get your CLIPA Con ticket too. May 2nd and 3rd, we do have some pre-show classes going on May 1st. If you want to join us for that, we have a multi-seasonal lighting class. And there's the graphic coming up here. Multi-season lighting. If you want to expand your holiday season outside the 3 or 4 months that you're decorating, if you want to expand into January, February, March, April, May, June, and start getting some business during those times, we'll teach you how. So we're going to teach you all sorts of roof light installations for permanent lighting, as well as any trees or anything like that you want to decorate. So we also have a commercial sales boot camp that's going to be led by Chelsea Fernetton. Excited for her to get up there and teach, her tricks of getting commercial sales. She handles all of our commercial decor, commercial selling here in CLIPA. So she's going to be teaching that class. So if you want to send your sales reps, or if you want to join us for that, I definitely recommend doing that. Make sure you're ready to smile and dial, because she is going to force you to get on the phone and make some cold calls. So there will be a session of cold calling during that time. So make sure you are ready to go. And that's what we got. So May 2nd and 3rd, join us for CLIPA Con. Mel, once again, thank you very much for joining us. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in San Diego.
See you soon.
All right. Thank you.